Hey everybody, it is Drac here in post-editing. I just wanted to put a little note in here before the show starts that this week we were experimenting with a new way to record the show. So if you notice anything weird, you can chalk it up to that. Hopefully this is going to make the show sound a little better. You can leave your comments on the episode either over on DDO Players, the post for the show, or you can leave it on the YouTube video, what you thought about the sound, if you had any problems with it, if it's better, if it's worse than it normally is. Just experiment that we're trying. I think it worked out pretty good, other than there's a few little tweaks I have to do, but just wanted to give you the heads up. This week might sound a little different, but hopefully it sounds better.
Good day, everyone. This is Pine Leaf Noodles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drac. How's the weather down there in Barovia?
It was actually really nice today.
Really nice today.
Spring is upon us here in Barovia.
Yeah, down here we had some wonderful weather today, and it's snowing tomorrow.
Of course it is. Yeah, actually, it's supposed to do that here this weekend, too. So, Mother Nature is being kind of fickle right now.
Yeah, there is that fickly nature.
Pick a season and stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Very simple concept. It really is.
Well, I haven't known nature to do that very well, especially in March. Let's head into the game news and find out what's going on. And I heard that some chests are getting overly aggressive in the game.
They are. That is because the Mimic Hunt is back on. If you are not familiar with what the Mimic Hunt is, any chest that you open in-game will have a chance to be a mimic. And what you do is you kill the mimic, and then once you defeated the mimic, it's going to give you a mimic token, and that is going to be, of course, in addition to the regular loot that would have normally been in the chest. And once again, it's a rare opportunity for any chest to work, so just keep that in mind. And if you absolutely do not want to participate in this, if you just, don't like the mimics, you think they're too hard, you think it's stupid, whatever your reason, you can talk to the Mimic Hunter in the Hall of Heroes, and he will give you a mimic repellent. And what that'll do is that will stop that. But keep in mind with the mimic repellent, that is only for you. So if you are grouped up in a group, and somebody else opens a chest and they don't have the mimic repellent, it could be a mimic even though you have the mimic repellent on. So that is something to keep in mind.
Something to keep in mind.
And yes. Speaking of that Mimic Hunter that is in the Hall of Heroes, that is where you go in and you trade in those Mimic tokens you are collecting for rewards. There's everything from some cosmetics, some armor, some weapons, and of course there is some Mimic pets. If you want to have a little Mimic following you around, save up. I think it's 100 Mimic tokens for
100?
I think so. It's either 80 or 100 for the Mimic pet. I think it's 100.
I think it'll be a long time before I'm going to be able to get one of those things.
Well, I guess it depends how many Mimics you pull, but yeah. And another fun little fact about the Mimic Hunt is there seems to be a little bug in it.
Ooh.
And the bug is if you have a guild chest on your ship, you might want to think twice about opening it if you're a lower level, because, yeah, they can be mimics, too.
What?
Yeah, there was a forum thread. It was kind of funny with, like, all these little low levels just getting wiped out on the ship because the mimic was, like, a level 45 or something, and they're, like, a level 3.
So you're on this ship, and these mimics have been sneaking up, these high-level mimics. Well, I guess they have to be high-level mimics if they're going to be able to sneak aboard the security and get into your ships.
Right, see, exactly. So mimics are everywhere, folks, and they do mean everywhere. And the Mimic Hunt will run through March 21st. And Pine Leaf and I were talking before the show. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know if that means the morning of the 21st, or it will run all day through the 21st, and it will end like at midnight when it becomes the 22nd. So
Well,
I'm not sure.
usually, if it's that, I think it'll be 3 a.m. the following day or something like that.
Yeah, so anyway, it just says through the 21st, so if you're wanting mimics, I would do it tomorrow on Tuesday. Would be your best opportunity, because at some point on the 21st, the mimics will go back in hiding again for a little while.
Yeah, because they don't want people to figure out how to trace them down into their secret lair or anything like that. You have to be careful on that. And it looks like you won't be able to do it all day tomorrow because apparently we'll have a little downtime.
Yeah, Cordovan posted over on the forums about some downtime for tomorrow. This is for 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and that is Eastern Standard Time, of course. He says the DDO Game Worlds will be unavailable from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, March the 20th, and this is to release a small update to the game. This update corrects an issue with Guild Chest. Okay, apparently they won't be mimics anymore. And the Mimic Hunt. And it also is going to make a minor performance update. So don't know what that means, but there you go. 9 a.m. to noon on Tuesday, March the 20th. DDO is going to be down for an update.
Okay, they're going to bring it down for 3 days. It doesn't sound like there's going to be much time in order to play it without that in there once they get the update up.
Right, you'll have to hurry and get right on and start hunting those mimics until they turn it off the next day. So yeah.
Yeah. Very well, then let's head into the DDO Chronicle issue 275, where we have a stained glass window.
Well, that's from Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, shocker.
Exactly. I bet you're surprised about that. In the community spotlight of our Chronicle this week, Standing Snow Games has released a new video about bringing Ravenloft from the tabletop to the game. And it was a pretty, actually, cool little video. What they did is they kind of showed what the Ravenloft Curse of Strahd looks like, and then they showed you, like, you know, what it looked like in the book. And then they transition it to what it looks like in the game. So it was kind of neat to see that, how they just pretty much ripped everything right out of Curse of Strahd and put it right into the game, and what the game artist chose to do versus what WotC's artist chose to do. So cool little video. It's not very long, but check that out. And Stream Tom is streaming a Reaper 2 completion of Legendary Shroud. Click over and watch Stream Tom beat the Shroud on Reaper 2. In our fansite news section of our Chronicle this week, DDO Cast is comparing Endgame from then and now. So click over and check out the latest DDO Cast episode. We got a shout out for our bacon golem that we wanted.
Bacon golem.
City's writing about his favorite builds in DDO. So click over and find out all the build goodness from City over on his blog. A Very Bad Guild finds a bargain. Click over and see how that goes. Mickey, of course, is writing about raiding. What else would she do? Click over and read her latest blog post. Band VP is finding spies in his house. Imagine that. Click.
Spies in his house.
Click over and watch that. And Axel wants you to know if it's important to keep up with the DDO meta. Click over and hear his thoughts on the DDO meta. Which I'm just going to state right now, I have never been one to keep up with the meta in any game. I play the way I want to play, and not how other people say I should play.
Right.
Just my thoughts. But click over and watch the video. It was a good video, and he had some good thoughts on it. And finally, in our fansite news section, Tone Station has an epic adventure every Wednesday night on the Galanda server. Click over and watch his recent stream, and watch him live on the DDO stream every Wednesday evening. Of course.
Now,
go ahead.
Yeah. one more thing on the fan site news,
Uh-huh.
where they're talking about Jasmine hitting into House Caneth
Mm-hmm.
and seeing her YouTube thing. Hold a minute. Last night, Jazz was completely shocked that I had a YouTube channel. And I didn't realize that she had her own YouTube channel where she's doing DDO stuff.
Are you sure it's the same person?
How many people are going to call themselves Jasmine?
Well, that's true. Especially spelled Jazz. So, well, it's a small world, Pineleaf. That's kind of funny, actually, though. So yeah, I'll check that out. I haven't watched any of her videos, but I will check that out. I take it she's a big Lotro player.
Yes, she runs the Sunday night skirmish raids on the.
Oh, okay.
That I sometimes participate in.
Oh, well, see, it is a small world then.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our Chronicle comment. And this week's question is, what is mimic bait made out of?
Mimic bait made out of. There's only one thing I could possibly think that mimic bait could be made out of. And that is an alloy of gold and platinum.
See, you went logical on your answer, which doesn't surprise me. I am not surprised by this.
I take it then you took a slightly funnier rather than logical
I did.
approach.
My answer to that is mimic bait is made out of the blood and flesh of dead adventurers that other mimics have killed.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And Gumps is saying it is made out of player RNG. Stupid RNG. I can't escape it even in mimic bait, apparently. RNG is everywhere, Pineleaf. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Finally, we have our screenshot of the week in our Chronicle, and that is Keishu, I'm going to say, guards the marketplace in the 358th DDO screenshot of the week.
Very well, and quite a quite a shot.
Yeah, it is a pretty neat shot, and I was trying to figure out what armor they're wearing, and I think that is some Ravenloft armor, maybe, because it's actually a pretty cool looking set of armor they're wearing. I'm almost positive that's one of the sets that comes out of Ravenloft.
Very well then. Let's then head into our store sales. Anything useful on sale this week?
We have 25% off of reincarnation items, healing items, spell point potions, and quest XP elixirs. All at 25% off in the DDO store. And if you've been holding out for the Vistani Knife Fighter, it is now available in the DDO store as well. So you can check out the Vistani knife fighting goodness for your hard-earned or bought, whichever, DDO points. And our free sample of the week is a lasting supreme ability potion. You will get 5 of those potions when you use the coupon code ABILITY. And that is now through March the 21st.
Then let's head on and see what's on the tabletop, and we will begin with Gen Con, where they have announced the names of their charity partners for 2018.
Yeah, if you're not familiar, every year at Gen Con, they pick a charity partner, and then all throughout the 4 days of Gen Con, there's different events that run, which raises money for the charity partner. This year, they're doing something a little different. There's going to be 2 charity partners. The first one, of course, is local to Indianapolis, which they usually all are, and it is called Second Helpings. And Second Helpings rescues prepared and perishable food from wholesalers, retailers, and restaurants, preventing the unnecessary waste and keeping food out of the landfill. The rescued food is then transformed by volunteers and staff into 4,000 hot, nutritious meals each day that are distributed to 85 other social services agencies across Indianapolis that feed people in need. So that is a pretty cool charity that is called Second Helpings. And the other charity this year, official charity of Gen Con 2018, is going to be the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund. And the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund was started in 2011 in memory of Jack Vassal, who is the infant son of Dice Tower founder and podcast host Tom Vassal and his wife Laura. Jack was born 2 months premature and very ill with neonatal meningitis. And after nearly 70 days in the hospital, Jack passed away, and the gaming community rallied behind Tom and his family during this challenging time, and he decided he wanted to do the same. So if there's a member of the gaming community that need help, you can contact the Jack Vassal Memorial Fund, and that's what it's there for. They will help you in your time of need. So those are the 2 charities you can find at Gen Con this year, so there'll be plenty of events that are going to be running. There's like auctions. There's Card Holla, of course, where all throughout the 4 days, people bring old Magic cards and playing cards and any type of cards, and they build card houses. And then at the end of Gen Con, you get to throw money, quarters and pennies and dimes, and destroy Card Holla, and all the money goes to the charities. And Gen Con did say they're going to split any money they make evenly between the 2 charities this year.
All right. Then let's head in and look at what's happening in Magic the Gathering, where the board game and token miniatures are coming from WizKids.
So, man, WizKids is just on a tear with games here lately. Yeah, they did announce they're bringing the Magic the Gathering Heroes of Dominaria, I guess is how you'd say that. In the game, players are going to take on the role of a powerful hero as they travel throughout the lands. As the player explores the ancient lands, they will need to build sites, rediscover artifacts, and confront the sinister cabal in order to gain resources needed to save the multiverse before rival heroes do. This game is designed for 2 to 4 players. You will explore Magic's most iconic plane and experience the trials and tribulations of being a heroic force on the plane. And, of course, this game is going to come with lots of miniatures, if you can believe that. And the game is going to be released in 2 versions, as WizKids is doing this a lot now. There's going to be the standard unpainted version and then the premium painted version. So.
All right. And that is Heroes of Dominaria.
Yeah, and you can look for that August 2018. Hint, hint, probably at Gen Con.
Probably at Gen Con.
They didn't say that, but the release date is August 2018, so do the math.
Very well. And are they going to be appearing at Toys R Us?
Oh, Toys R Us. It's a sad day, Pine Leaf. I don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid, Pine Leaf.
Well, you don't have much time for that.
I do not. Yeah, that's right. Sad news. Toys R Us, I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago, how they were kind of thinking about going into bankruptcy. Well, they did that, and then they thought they had a plan to where they were just going to close about 100 stores, and that would leave about 470 stores open. No, didn't work out. Their debt is too much. They can't do anything. So Toys R Us is closing its doors. And most Toys R Us have already started clearances and stuff. So if you're in the market for toys or some board games, you can get some good deals at Toys R Us right now. It's just sad. I remember going to Toys R Us. That's where I bought, for my Commodore 64, I bought the Bard's Tale, and I bought either Curse of the Azure Bonds or Secrets of the Silver Blades. I can't remember which one. But one of those gold box games I got from Toys R Us. And then I used to get D&D books at Toys R Us too, because they had a huge selection of that stuff.
Well, they did?
Oh, yeah. But if you had a Commodore 64, that was the place to go for games, because they had a crap ton of Commodore 64 games at Toys R Us. So that's where I used to buy most of my games. But I can remember buying Bard's Tale there, though. So this is sad news. It's a little piece of my childhood that is going away.
I don't think I got all that much from Toys R Us, but I do remember when, I don't know whether it was that New York Bargain Town changed its name to Toys R Us, or that Toys R Us took over them, or what over to that, but I remember there was this old store in New York called Bargain Town, and then changing our name to Toys R Us. And
we had another store here called KB Toys. Got a lot of stuff from KB Toys, and KB Toys had a pretty good D&D selection too. But
yeah, I remember KB Toys because I think they used to be at our local mall.
Yeah, I can say they were like they were the mall toy store.
Yeah, the mall toy store. Yes, that's probably the good way of describing them.
That's right. You either went to the mall to go to KB, or you went to Toys R Us. That's where you went to get your D&D stuff and your Commodore 64 games. And, of course, your action figures and all that other stuff, too. But
in about, I think it was 15 years ago, was it 10, 15 years ago, where Wizards of the Coast attempted to create their own stores?
Yeah, that didn't last very long.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
God bless them, but they tried. But
they tried, but no. Let's then head on and see what's on the screen, where Amazon is giving Twitch Prime members a free games each month.
That's right. Not a free game, free games, plural.
Plural.
Yeah, Amazon has slowly been kind of adding a lot of stuff to Prime just to kind of like sweeten the deal. So if you're, a Prime member, you don't say, hey, all I'm really getting is free shipping and music and TV with this. Is there anything else you can give me?
All I'm getting with this, and just when I see how much I would pay for shipping.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that's what Amazon's saying. It's like, look at how much you're saving on shipping, people. But fine, we'll give you other crap if that's what you want. So, yeah. So, if you are a Prime member, I would suggest that you link your Twitch account, because you will need to download the Twitch desktop app to take advantage of this. But right now, this month, they are giving 5 games away. And those games are Super Shot, Shadow Tactics, Tales from Candlekeep, Auction Free, and Mr. Shifty. And they have announced next month in April that Tales from the Borderlands, SteamWorld Dig 2, Kingsway, Tokyo 42, and Dub Wars will also be given to Prime members for free as well. And the other amazing thing about this, which I cannot believe, but I double-checked the terms of service, and this is actually how it is stated. After you claim these games and they're linked to your Twitch account in the Twitch desktop app, these games are yours to keep forever. Even if you quit Prime, you will still have these games to play.
What?
Yeah, which I was thinking, I'm pretty sure this is only going to be available while you're a Prime member, but no. So it's a pretty good deal. And, it depends, but they have said that they're going to offer at least 2 or 3 games a month. Some months they'll have 4 or 5, like, this month they're offering 5, and next month they're 5, but they said there'll be at least 2 games a month that they will give away free to Twitch or to Amazon Prime members. And it's to get them, it's really simple to do. You just link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. And then if you're on Twitch, there will be a little like crown icon at the top of Twitch. You just click on that, and then you'll see all of the games and all of the Twitch Prime offers. And you just click add to account, and it add it to your account. And then you go into the My Games section of the Twitch desktop app, and there's your games. You just download them, and you play. So it's a pretty good deal, actually.
A bit crazy, yeah.
And Gump's gang in the chat is really onto something because this is the same thing I thought too. He says, I can see a day where the Twitch desktop app will also support a Steam-like store.
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm wondering, are they trying to go head to head with Steam?
I think so, yes. I think this is slowly they're testing the waters, and then eventually we're gonna see, oh hey, you want to buy this game? Buy it from us at a discount. So yeah, so we'll see. They haven't announced that yet, but I'm foreseeing it happen as well. So that's three of us that thought the same thing I thought when I got this press release. I'm like, they're gonna go after Steam with this. I know they are. So
Yeah, because that's sort of.
But it's pretty sweet. Free games if you're a Prime member.
Yeah, that's.
Pine Leaf is like speechless here. He's like, what? Free games? What?
All right, then let's head on to Asmodee. Asmodee Digital is to publish Nomad Games Fighting Fantasy Legends.
Yeah, we talked about yeah, that's easy for me to say. Fighting Fantasy Legends. That's really hard to say, especially if you try to say it fast. A while back, this game is already out and about already. And of course, it is based off of the legendary Steve Jackson. Not that Steve Jackson, the other Steve Jackson.
The other Steve Jackson, yes.
And Ian Levesting Final Fantasy Legends books. And this is a card-based RPG that blends a digital card game mechanic with the interactive fiction from the books. So if you're familiar with that series, you know what it is. Nomad Games was originally publishing it, and now they signed a deal with Asmodee Digital to help them publish it, and probably to get it to more people than Nomad could probably get it to. So it's available now on both the App Store, the Google Play Store, and of course Steam.
And of course Steam, but not yet on Amazon Prime.
Just wait. I'm sure it will be. Give them time.
Give them time. Then let's head into our weekend gaming. And Drac, what were you up to?
I actually did a ton this week.
Ooh.
Of course, I played with you. I'll let you talk about what we did. And then I was talking to Rent, Tay, and Let, and we decided we were going to start a static group. And it was just going to be a static group for us just to have fun. And whenever, we could play, we play. We weren't setting, okay, we're going to play every Tuesday or we're going to play every Thursday or whatever. This is just kind of, whenever all of us are available, or at least three of us are available, we're going to hop on and just have fun. So we decided, just for the funsies, since this whole thing is for fun, we decided we were going to make our characters over on Wayfinder. So that way we were new, because none of us had... I mean, I have a character over there, but I don't ever play it. I basically just go do my daily dice every week, and that's it. So, and nobody else had characters over there. So we had no guild ship, no guild buffs, no, stuff in the bank that we could transfer for our tunes. We were starting over at level 1, brand new characters, brand new server. So
okay,
we started at level 1. We did the little pre-quest out on Korthos that you have to do until you can actually get into snowy Korthos.
Right.
And then we skipped Korthos and went straight into the harbor. Yeah. I knew you would disapprove, Pine Leaf, but no. You can't do Korthos. So
you can't do Korthos.
I'm just over Korthos at this point.
You're over Korthos. Okay.
So here we are these level 1s taking on the harbor quest. And that was fun. Let me tell you, some of them quests were really hard when you're level 1. But we managed to get through them. We pretty much wiped out all of the harbor quests. We have a couple left. And our strategy was we are running them. We start on normal, and then we go to hard, and then we go to elite. So we run at least 3 times, and that's just to get the experience and of course to get the favor.
Right.
Couple of them we only ran on normal. We still have to go back and do hard and elite, but that's because we decided they'd be like way too hard at our lower level. We actually did reach level 4 though, so we went from level 1 to level 4, and then we hopped in the marketplace and did a couple of those quests as well in the marketplace, and then we're going to go back out and finish off the harbor. That our plan is kind of to, like I said, it's just to have fun and just to play. So I rolled up a rogue because I wanted to check out the Bastani Knife Fighter, and because I've never really actually played, well, it sounds weird when I say this, I've never really played a rogue in a group before. I mean, I have with you, but that's just with one other person.
Right.
This is actually like a proper group of 3 or 4 people. So I just wanted to, see what the rogue was like in like a big group, and then I wanted to check out Bastani Knife Fighter, and I'm having a blast with the Bastani Knife Fighter. The daggers down animation is just so freaking cool. It's so much fun. So did a lot of DDO this week, which is good because I haven't played DDO this much in a long time, which is good. I had fun. I liked it. Like I said, I played with you, so we'll let you talk about that. And then checked out a couple video games that is going to be for some upcoming reviews on the site. That's Subnautica, Warhammer Vermintide 2, Fighting Fantasy Legends, and Super Seducer. So look for those reviews coming soonish to DDO players. Oh, and then I forgot to mention the all the quest and stuff with that static group I ran. You can find over on my Twitch page in the archives. And at some point this week, I think I'm going to stream some of the Fighting Fantasy. I'm telling you, that is really hard to say. Fighting Fantasy Legends and Super Seducer as well, and probably Vermintide. So you should be able to check those games out over my Twitch page too at some point this week. Haven't decided when I'm going to stream them, but I will at some point. But I know the reviews will be up on DDO Players soon, though. So how about you, Pineleaf? What were you up to? What were we up to? How about yourself?
All right, I'll begin with my Halfling Paladin and running with you where we went into Giant Hold and we ran a Cry for Help, the Prison of the Plains, and a Cabal of One. Then on my Aasimar Favorite Soul, I went into House Tarasco, ran Dead Predators and The Grave Robber. On tabletop, I had my second Pandemic Legacy Season 2 game for March, where I had another close game. I got a little bit distracted in this game, where there's this sort of like sometimes we go, oh shiny, oh shiny, oh shiny. I did that a lot in this run through, and I don't think I was focused enough on winning it. So there, of course, eventually the nasty things that happen in Pandemic caught up, and so that game was lost.
So the moral of the story is shinies will get you every time.
Shinies will get you every time. Then I played One Deck Dungeon, Forest of Shadows. I continued my campaign with my hunter there. I decided to run the Phoenix, which is an extra one that they had put in when they did the Kickstarter, and I managed to beat the Phoenix on the first try. I think the Phoenix isn't really a 2 difficulty dungeon. I think it's more of a 1.5, so therefore I was able to get through it. I was a little bit surprised I was able to do that on my first attempt there, but of course I do have what I built up during the campaign, so that perhaps helped a bit. Then on the One Deck Dungeon app representing the base game, I decided to try the Paladin going against the Dragon.
And by app, you mean the video game, correct?
Right, yeah, the video game version of it. That's on Steam Early Access right now. And I managed to finally win on it. I haven't played the Paladin all that much. I think this might even be the second time I've ever played the Paladin. That includes on the physical game. But it became the first time where I managed to actually win on the app, and I did post that onto YouTube, so therefore I do have that divided into 2 episodes there.
So there's proof of your victory.
Yes, there is actual proof of my victory there. Then I decided to play some Warfighter because they've just started a Kickstarter for Warfighter World War II Wave 2, which is going to be covering mostly the Pacific. And I thought, well, maybe it's time I'd go and play some Warfighters. So therefore, I started running some Warfighter Special Forces scenarios, and I'm playing some of the scenarios from the scenario book. First, I just ran the sample scenario that they have in the main rule book, where they say, okay, just put these dudes together, take this sample army and get on with it. And they have a sample run through of that. And I said, okay, let's try this. Hey, how I could do on that. And I was coming right down to the end of the scenario. And I looked at this, I said, all right, this is going to be impossible. If I just try firing my weapons here, it'll be impossible for me to win this scenario. So I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ditch my cards, redraw, and see if I get something that could allow victory. And I really got excited there because I saw one of them was Camouflage, which is a card that allows you to attack a screened opponent. And I thought, wow, I can do this. I can shoot it. I can do that. Oh, wait a minute. I drew 6 cards instead of 5.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I drew 6 cards because what happened is my original hand limit was 6, but I got injured the turn before, and that knocked down my hand size down to 5.
And the Camouflage was the 6th card.
And the Camouflage was the 6th card.
Oh, that sucks.
So therefore, I didn't. So I didn't win that one. Then I went to the scenario book and ran the mission to destroy some drug huts that are in the middle of some dense jungle in there, and I really had no trouble with that particular one. Pretty easy win there. I had some grenades. Now, the trouble that you can have with that scenario is that could be scared to use your grenades before you get to the drug huts, because you have 3 drug huts that you have to destroy. So they can only be destroyed by your grenades. And you only have 4 grenades. So you can imagine if 2 of them failed to destroy it, you could be in a little bit of a trouble there. But I happen to have drawn a card early in the game called Speedball, which allows you to get extra items from almost like a parachute drop. And I said, with that in my hand, I knew that I could get some extra grenades if I wanted to. So earlier, when I had a group that could really slow me down, I just chucked a grenade at them. But I really didn't need the Speedball anyway, because I managed to be 3 for 3. I know the random number generator liked me.
Well, of course it did.
Yeah. So
Why
therefore
wouldn't it?
so I had no trouble blowing up the huts and winning that one. Then I tried a hostage rescue in the Middle East. And at first things were going pretty well. Then I decided, okay, it's time to cut through a private home in order to get to the hostage site. And I must say that it must have been the bridge evening for the Taliban or something, because I walk into the house and I have like 12 people pointing guns at me.
Oops.
Hello, sorry there. Yeah, so I took a few injuries there, and a little challenging too.
I would have just said, oh, sorry, wrong house, and slowly back away. Slowly back out. Sorry.
Well, unfortunately, that's not an option in Warfighter.
Go about your business. Wrong house. Sorry.
So therefore, with that little problem in there, I did finally manage to get through them all and arrive into the place where I'm supposed to rescue the hostage. And I'm starting to get them down. I'm looking, wow, it looks like I'm getting some pretty good rolls in there, and I'm getting down the ending, and I was down to. I just finished the turn, and I had this one. That's right. It's coming to my last shot for the turn. I had this 1 leader left, and if I kill him, then I win the scenario. And so therefore, I shoot at him and suppressed instead of killed. So he must be hiding behind something or something like this. Because, all right, I don't kill him. So, but I had a card active that allowed me to spend some experience so I could keep the card active so that I could take a shot at the beginning of the opponent's turn. So I did, okay, fine, let's do this. Let's shoot him again. Let's blast. I rolled 3. 1 short.
Oh, geez. See,
Well,
the RNG giveth and the RNG taketh
RNG
away.
giveth and the RNG taketh away. That is right. Oh, well. So I had some really nice, close adventures there in Warfighter. So that's give me a chance to actually play. So I think I actually played it more this last week than I had before. And, of course, it's starting to get me all ready for when the Wave 2 comes out with World War II and the like. And soon, probably in another month or two, they will be holding their Kickstarter for Warfighter Fantasy.
Now, how are they going to do that?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Well, apparently they designed the system so that they could use it on a wide range of settings. Now, you got to remember is that a very early draft of the Warfighter system was used for a game called Rise of the Zombies.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because if you ever, I don't know if you ever played Rise of the Zombies.
Gen Con one year, I think.
Yeah.
Almost positive I played that. I demoed it, I do believe.
All right. Yeah, it was a. Yeah, so therefore that was I think of that as an early version because there are a lot of things in there that sound familiar to a Warfighter person. I know that was a real-time game, Warfighter isn't, so there are some differences like that, and you could see the refinements that were done to the system since Rise of the Zombies, but I almost think Rise of the Zombies is almost a prototype to what became the Warfighter system. So if you could do it for a zombie game.
True.
We currently have 18 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We did not receive any reviews this week, but we would love your support. But we do have a featured comment from Musky Elon on our last episode via YouTube. And what did he say?
He says, I don't understand the monk nerf. Is this because of 1 or 2 players with all the baller raid gear? My first tune was a monk, and for soloing, they sucked. I haven't played one for years because they are crap. They are just glass cannons and need every bit of DPS they can get, in my opinion. Nerfing monks sound insane to me. And I think we echoed that sentiment last week when we were talking about the monk nerf. And and if you go on the forums, a lot of people are agreeing with Muskie on this.
Oh, so therefore, what is it? What is it? Something with the baller raid gear that makes him OP or something?
I guess. I don't know. Apparently there was some people that figured out a really good build with some gear that worked, and their monks were doing hella DPS, and now all monks are getting nerfed because they're OP. Is what it boils down to.
Oh, right. Oh, and that's gear that... Because that would have to be specialized monk gear, or is this some other type of gear that...
Nobody knows. That's why people are so upset. Because the blanket statement was, we take a look and monks are doing way too much DPS damage. And people are like, no, we're not. And
there's a reason why my monk went from being a full monk to a partial monk.
Yeah, so people are like, can you tell me how to get my monk like that then? if they do so much hella damage, tell me how to do that so Mike can do that until you nerf them. So yeah, so it's just a big mess right now. But yeah.
All right, so therefore, apparently monks are being nerfed because somebody manages to do them well, even if most of us can't.
Apparently. R.I.P. monks. R.I.P.
Then let's then see what kind of emails we got. We've got none. But if you'd like to email us, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Dracula at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. The Players Alliance has 4 shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We have DDO Players News every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We have Lojo Players News every other Thursday at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We have XP Quest, and on the first Tuesday of each month at 9:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time, we have Chrometabits. You can transfer our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.
I don't want to grow up on a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got the best for so much less, you really flip your lid. From bikes to trains to